Let me tell you about some drama that is kicking off. It all started with a tweet from We Print Miniatures. This is a 3D printing company, and by company, I mean a very, very small company that prints miniatures on demand. They tweeted on the 5th, Saturday, Green Stuff World has claimed they own brush rinsers and have had the product we bought in good faith removed from eBay via Vero. We require an explanation from Green Stuff World as it appears they are abusing the Vero system. Please retweet so they clear up their IP. So they've essentially sent a copyright claim, an IP claim, a cease and desist allegedly they've sent one to We Print Miniatures for trying to sell something on eBay. It looks to us like they've just reboxed a Chinese product just like everyone else, and in fact own nothing around this IP. Prove your IP, Green Stuff World, or retract. And this is the product they're talking about. You might have seen this. You might have seen these. These are like the new hotness that people are getting into. It's a brush rinser. So essentially, you fill this with water, and what it does, it drains out and it fills a little pool here. And this is like a ribbed for your pleasure, I know, surface that you take your paintbrush, rub it around in there and get all the paint out. And then you press the button, which opens the plug, which allows the water to flow through that's full of paint, and then the bottle refills it. Are they good? Don't know. Never use one. But the point is Green Stuff World has been selling these for a while, but also they've been coming up quite a lot on the new website, essentially like Alibaba, AliExpress, like Chinese Amazon maybe, or something like that. They are approximately £5. But essentially this is it. So it's a brush rinser. You fill the bottle up and then you rinse your brush out here. They're gonna oh, look at that. Rinse your brush out. Oh, it's full of red paint. That's crazy. Oh shit, it goes. There it is. It's still full of red paint, but at least it's cleaner water. But essentially, they've all popped up on this website, this Temu. I think this website must be quite new because I'd not heard of it until last week. And now people are just buying everything from there and repricing it and selling it themselves. And that's kind of what a lot of companies do, okay? But it's come out that Green Stuff World did get in touch with We Print Miniatures. In the interest of resolution, someone has sent us the EU IPO documentation from Green Stuff World, and it does show they have protection in Europe. This is the EU IPO, the IP, so you can see the 3D model of what they've designed. And this essentially is the IP protection for this product. So essentially, Green Stuff World have said, look, we own the IP for this product. It's here. However, there's more to this story because that's not where it ends. Green Stuff World has a history of sending false copyright claims, false cease and desist to anyone who kind of opposes them, which means by making this video, I might get sued. I might be in a lawsuit. But allegedly, and from evidence that we have, it doesn't look like Green Stuff World has the greatest past for being a stand-up business when it comes to trying to protect their copyright when their name is stolen from something else. It's called Green Stuff World, and Green Stuff World is a GW product. Very surprised Green Stuff World have claimed that they own the brush rinsers. God, that thing's all over Temu and stuff. That's pretty ballsy to try and claim that. And then this person said, it's pretty much Green Stuff World standard MO. Find some cheap hobby thing, often from a different type of hobby, flip it at a significant markup while sneakily registering it in such a way no one else can pull the same scam. Even their name is co-opted for someone else's product IP, which is also true. They may have bulk protection on the design, but it's not their work. They simply bulk buy a product from China and then register it under their name from the West to prevent others from doing the same. Legally correct, but in no way right. So they are claiming, allegedly, that Green Stuff World didn't design the product and they just stole it and then put an IP protection on it so no one else can. Obviously, in the past, I've criticized Green Stuff World because of this problem. We've all seen this before. This is the official statement when they had to apologize for copyright claiming a YouTube channel for looking at their paint and calling the other brand Color Shift. There was two brands of paint, Green Stuff World Color Shift and Vallejo Color Shift. Now, Vallejo were in a legal battle with Green Stuff World because they called their paints Color Shift, and Green Stuff World had copyright claimed or IP protected the word Color Shift paint, so Vallejo couldn't actually call it that paint. But Sword and Steel had no idea, so they made a video comparing the two, and they got a copyright strike on their channel. And one of those things is kind of like copyright strike. If you get 3, your channel gets deleted. And Green Stuff World just sent one anyway. for no reason. They ended up apologizing for it, and there's like Sword and Steel did loads of videos about it at the time. This was 3 years ago, but I've openly criticized Green Stuff World for stealing art from other artists as well. So this is an apology they did 7 months ago at the beginning of the year, where they stole someone else's artwork and used it online without permission, and then when they were asked to remove it, they simply photoshopped it to a different color. They haven't got a great track record for, like, you know, being an upright business when it comes to what you should and shouldn't do without screwing people over. Throwing your weight around because you've, like, you know, we're getting the IP protection in first, so you can't do what we're doing. Kind of a bit weird. Now, again, allegedly, those brush rinsers were bought from China and then copyrighted or IP protected by Green Stuff World. I don't have any evidence to prove that, and I don't have any evidence to disprove that. But following from their track record, I think, in my opinion, that might be the case. But also, We Print Miniatures didn't stop there, because it turns out that Green Stuff World have no legal bearing over the UK because we left the EU. Come on, let's go, baby! I said Brexit. You say we left. Looking into this, it appears that Green Stuff World has zero claim on the UK or any business therein. They don't have UK protection due to Brexit. This is the EU IPO, as their protections were registered after the transition date, so it's not applicable in UK law. Oh, man. So they sent a cease and desist, but they can't send a cease and desist because of Brexit. The one redeeming clause, as Volpal Hit says. Let's get a shout out for Brexit. So why would it affect a UK company? Because they're just throwing their weight around for people who might not know what a EU IPO is or whether it is applicable to them, but they can hold up a piece of paper that looks very scary and be like, stop doing that, we own that, and you're going to fall for it because they're a big company. We Print Miniatures were kind of like a bit of a clapback. A little bit of a clapback, because they also came out and said, we are also considering crowdfunding the creation of our own brush rinser with a new mechanical design that will be available to the entire industry except Green Stuff World. It is genuine interest in this idea. We could contract our good friend Bob Naismith to design a world-leading product for everyone except Green Stuff World. Thoughts? Oh, this made me howl. So not only have they been falsely told off for doing something that legally they are well within their rights for, because there is no IP or legal claim over the UK, We Print Miniatures is starting a tirade to make their own. That is the most Giga Chad energy I've ever seen. Allegedly, they've taken this product and put an IP claim over it. Allegedly. If that is true, this isn't the first time they've done it. Now, I was sent this video a couple of months ago when the drama happened, the original drama about the stealing artwork. I'd love to sit and watch this video, but I know what you guys are like. It says Green Stuff World, how this company works and steals other people's ideas, cases, facts, charges by Green Stuff World. Now the problem is...
Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einem ausnahmsweise sehr ernsten TWS-Video.
It's in German. You will not sit and watch me watch this video and let me comment over it whilst reading the subtitles, because you all have brain rot, okay? But thankfully, Tabletop Workshop actually put out an English translation. So this video goes over 2 points, okay? The first one, talking about Sword and Steel, which is obviously there. I read German, you see. Second half is about something else. Don't worry, guys, I'll read it to you. I know you're all babies, you want a nighttime story. But this is to kind of back up the point that people are saying the brush rinser might not be their design. It might just be, oh, we bought it, now we put an IP over the rest of Europe, so we can sell it, but you can't outside of China. Between 2010 and 2012, the German model seller Stefan of beesputty.com developed his so-called tube tool. The tube tool was the first, sounds like it was the first invention of the green stuff roller to make pipes, you know? Where you take the green stuff and you rub it between the two plastic plates and it rolls together to make cool textured plates and cool textured wires and stuff. This might be it. On 12th of March 2014, the owner of Green Stuff World filed 2 so-called design patents for modelling tools with the European Union Intellectual Property Office, or the EU IPO for short, and released the Rollmaker tool via his company. This Rollmaker tool was an exact one-to-one copy, including all dimensions of the Tube tool. A design patent is an industrial property right that gives its owner an exclusive right to use an aesthetic appearance, shape, colour, form for certain goods. And very important, a design right is an unexamined property right. This means that you do not have to be the originator of the product to register this right. The fees for such registration are also relatively low, about 400 to 500 euros, and as luck would have it, both Green Stuff World and the EU IPO are located in the same place, in Spain. Green Stuff World submitted its design entry to the sales platform eBay, including PK Pro as a distribution channel for the Tube tool. Thus, the sale of the Tube tool developed by Stefan was immediately prohibited there due to copyright infringement. So allegedly, Stefan made the Tube roller, Green Stuff World made a copy, submitted a EU IPO registration after he started selling them, put them through eBay, and then had Stefan's taken down, even though he potentially, allegedly, is the original creator. Of course, Stefan turned to Green Stuff World, but neither as a reasonable dialogue nor an agreement was reached. As a demonstrable author, Stefan could, of course, now have gone to court in Alicante, Spain, to enforce his rights, but this would not only take several months or even years, but would also have cost several thousand euros in expenses and costs. This is why you have to become a member, guys, because I might get sued. And all of this for an article that initially cost 20 euros and later only 10, of which Stefan had only sold 750 copies to date. So, you know, he'd only made a couple of grand, maybe 1,500 or something like that. Not a great deal. In short, neither the registration of a design nor a patent would have protected Stefan from Green Stuff World's actions, and a lawsuit abroad would have been out of proportion to the cost and the earnings of his product. After Green Stuff World had released their motif punches or leaf punches in July 2016, the German online retailer PKO Pro decided to include such tools in their product range as well. The inquiry with the Chinese producer showed that in Europe already some customers would supply with such tools, but the Chinese producer emphasized that he owns a patent on these tools since 2006. And then at the end of September, PK Pro had officially announced its PK punches with the help of some photos. They were available from October 1st, 2016. But exactly one day before, on October 30th, 2016, Green Stuff World filed another design application at the European Union of Intellectual Property Office. This time, however, the design patent related to the shape of the punches. In other words, not on any sheets that can be punched, but on the haptic shape of the punch, for which the Chinese producer had held the patent since 2006. I just want to let you know, I haven't read this yet. I had a vague idea. I haven't read this. So not only are they trying to copyright, well, put an IP protection in for a tube roller, they also put one in for the shape of green leaf punches, which someone potentially had a patent since 2006. They put one in 2016. With this design, Green Stuff World shortly afterwards stopped the sales of PK punches on eBay and Amazon because, as already mentioned in the first example, it is completely sufficient on these platforms to assert a claim for copyright infringement or similar. eBay and Amazon then blocked the item, and in the worst case, directly the entire market shop of the supplier, only when the plaintiff, in this case Green Stuff World, withdraws his accusation, with the sales of the PK punches being possible again. So basically, what Green Stuff World seems to have a habit of doing, especially from these claims anyway, from what I understand from these claims, is that as soon as they find a good hobby product, they like buy their bit from China, get it IP protected with the EU IPO, and then stop everyone else selling them on eBay. Which is just wild. Absolutely wild. And it's such a bully tactic because they're kind of like, well, we got the patent in first. It's not like we designed this product and we're protecting it. Supposedly, according to these, they're taking designs that are already out there, then putting an IP protection on them, and then claiming all the rest of them, getting all the rest shut down. Look at the stolen artwork and look at these like 4 examples we've had now. It's not about like being a good designer or like having a really good product. It's about buying a product first, putting a patent in for it that no one else has done, because people think, well, I've got a cool product, it's my product. And then going off and like and then striking everyone else to stop them selling it on eBay or other public platforms. I think a real problem is they prevent hobbyists that invented something potentially cool and helpful for us to do that in the future. If it's true, if all of these claims are true, again, I'm just reading. I'm not going out there. I don't want to get sued. I'm not going out there saying that they're doing it. All I'm doing is reading something and talking about things that I've seen online. Just going to clarify and just protect my own ass, okay? I can't afford to get sued. It's not about like stopping other hobbyists designing stuff. What it's about is just taking all the revenue that they rightfully deserve. Because like, if the tube roller thing is right, think about how many tube rollers are out there only sold by Green Stuff World, and this guy could have been the guy, this one guy, this Stefan could have been the guy who like profited and like made a livelihood off it, maybe got more than a livelihood out of it. But no, Green Stuff World came in, put £400 in or 500 quid for an IP protection and then claimed all the revenue from it. It's dog shit. It's dog shit, to be honest. It puts a chilling effect on the creation of new hobby tools by the community. Patent law is designed to prevent that and not enable it. Exactly. And that's what it sounds like they're doing. They're abusing the IP laws. What followed, basically the Chinese producer was considering putting a trial in where various lawyers' letters between PK Pro and Green Stuff World for about a year and a half, ultimately without result, because at some point Green Stuff World simply stopped contacting us. This cost PK Pro around €10,000, translation and legal fees, and of course a lot of time. Although PK Pro was able to sell its PK punches via its own web shop, it could only reach a part of its original customers, and as usual with new releases, the demand for such tools was already covered after a half a year had elapsed. So they basically like just killed them out of the market, you know? They just like destroyed them in the market. They said, you can't sell on eBay or Amazon, we can. And where do people buy stuff, you know? It's always eBay and Amazon. They're like two of the biggest like e-commerce platforms in the UK, in Europe, sorry. Look at me saying e-commerce. As a reminder again, on the statement of Green Stuff World published on January 2nd, 2020, this is to do with the Sword and Steel quote. We are a small family business. This is my hobby and my life, and I am very proud of what has been achieved after many years of hard work. My hobby, allegedly, my hobby is to just buy IP protection and all the products I bought from China. Allegedly. You know, I heard a rumor. Potentially. Not saying they did. I'm just reading the internet. Just want to clarify. Guys, please subscribe. Although Green Stuff World has always remained within the framework of applicable laws in the cases I researched, I believe they have consciously taken advantage of the corresponding loopholes in the law and procedures. There is no question that such hard restraints are also common in other industries, but legally sound does not automatically mean morally sound, at least for me. And this is what I agree with. You know, that's what they said. I'm just nodding and saying yes, probably. Okay? Allegedly. Even the initially very harsh action against Naomi's video, in which a shutdown and warning was issued directly via YouTube, does not fit for me with Green Stuff World's statement. But essentially, Green Stuff World submitted like a takedown request for a video because Naomi had used talks about the labels on the box, but the labels on the box were in like dispute between the companies, and then Green Stuff World kind of shot down Naomi, and she got caught in the crossfire. It got a copyright strike against the channel. And the thing is, whenever you talk about Green Stuff World, that is the story that comes up. A YouTuber reviewing paint off their own back that I believe, as far as I'm aware, they bought with their own money, made a video to compare the two products to be like, oh, this one's this one, and this one's this one. Wonder what they look like, how different they are. Almost had their channel deleted because they said they were called colour shift paint because that's what it said on the bottle. Which is not a family-friendly, small business energy thing to do, in my opinion, allegedly. Okay? So there you go. That was the video translated. Hopefully you enjoyed my rendition of it. But it was by Tabletop Workshop. As you can see, this is their video. It was from 5th of January. I'll put a link in the description. If all of those stories are true from Tabletop Workshop, it would not surprise me. And also, I'd be surprised otherwise if the brush rinser was designed by Green Stuff World and not bought, resold, repackaged, whatever, and then IP protection bought in the EU just so other people couldn't do the same thing. That would be my opinion. That's what I consider is probably the likely case. Again, I don't know. I've got no idea. I'm just kind of sat here guessing. But otherwise, like I just don't think it's a very good company to associate with. And I'd shout out to We Print Miniatures for being absolute legends and just being like, you know what? We're going to make our own. Let me know what you think down in the comments or in the live chat if you're watching live. In my opinion, trash company. I ain't got time for it, you know? There's so many other companies out there that make great products that are morally not bankrupt, morally wealthy, and probably not kind of close to bankruptcy because of other companies like Green Stuff World, because they like to throw their weight around. So if you can support the companies, that's great. If you can't, that's also fine. If you want to buy Green Stuff World products, that's fine. If you ever ask me why I won't, that's also fine. I'm happy to chat. But it's probably not the first time I'm going to talk about this company unless people start calling them out and start, like, you know, deciding where they're going to spend their hobby dollars, you know? So that's my opinion. Let me know your opinions down in the comments below, and thanks for watching.